The Yeti Radio, powered by DavidLeeImaging.com. David Lee Imaging in the Titletown Music Archive and the Live 365 app. Welcome to the YetiRadio.com.
Don't fuck it up.
Welcome, everybody. It's the Yeti. We're in the Backstage Lounge tonight with GRUDGE MEYER. They got a big show coming up. We're going to find out who the band is, where they're going, what they've been doing, how they've been doing, and find out how exciting this show coming up is going to be. So stay tuned. Opening song for tonight is GRUDGE MEYER's Tell Me, right here on the Yeti Radio.
Tell me what you want. Fantasy.
That's what she said. Right here on the Yeti Radio, it's GRUDGE MEYER in the studio.
Hello.
We got Mr. Alan Vlad and Joey Havley right here. Lead vocalist and drummer with the band. Other guys are still working and couldn't make it in. So welcome, guys.
Yep, you're stuck with us two.
That's okay.
Us two alone.
I've had better. I've had worse.
Yeah, the two troublemakers in the band. You got the worst of the kind right here.
Well, thank you for being here. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Definitely, we love it. Definitely a good way to promote the bands, and it helps out a lot doing that. What do you want to say? We got some good stuff coming up.
You got some great stuff coming up.
June 28th, we got Blacktop Mojo at the 44, along with Grudge Meyer and Menace Mary. That's going to be a good show. The show's going to start at 7:30.
Yeah, we're all pumped for that.
Yeah,
flyer adjustment in the air right now. 7:30.
Oh yeah, minor adjustment. 7:30 Friday night, June 28th at the 44. Blacktop Mojo, like I said, that's going to be a really good show. I'm looking forward to that one. Get there early, definitely, because last time they were here, I believe it filled up pretty early. So you want to either grab your tickets. It's $15 at the door. Yeah, so we're looking forward to it. And our buddies Menace Mary is going to be there. We got a lot of shows with them actually this year. Pretty much all of our shows are with Menace Mary right now, right?
Oh yeah, we love working with these guys.
Yeah,
it's worked out very well.
Yeah, it's just us two bands that we're kind of been doing. We're going to be also at August 17th at the Starlight Lounge.
Okay.
And then September 28th, we'll be back at the Roadhouse. With that's just Grudge Meyer, Menace Mary. And then we got Halloween night at the 44, which so far that is Grudge Meyer, Menace Mary. So we're all looking forward to that right now. I mean, I think the Blacktop Mojo show is the one we're concentrating on the most, trying to get our set down, what we're going to do. Each band's going to play an hour, and I believe Blacktop Mojo is going to be doing a acoustic set. So that's all the info so far I got on that. You could probably check the event page and find out a little more, or maybe on the 44 if they have something posted on there. Let's see what else we got going on. We got we're going to be looking at some studio time coming back up.
New music, yay!
Yeah,
awesome.
Finally. We've been trying to get there, but we've actually been filling up on shows. We did 2 shows at the Roadhouse. One was for Bike Week, which is great. We had a great turnout for that. That was
a blast.
That was fun.
Crazy.
That was a lot of
That
fun.
was
So
beautiful.
I think this June 28th show is going to be like that as well. I've gotten several comments about with that band, that that's one of their favorite bands, and definitely check them out on YouTube. And get your tickets or get there early, like I said, because it's going to be filling up early.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's the word on the street. The last time that they were here, that's how they pretty much filled up. So, Grudge Meyer's been pretty busy right now. Like I said, we teamed up with Menace Mary. We kind of been doing a lot of the shows with 6-7 bands, and we thought it'd be kind of nice just for us two to get together, be able to set up and not have to throw ourselves on stage for 45 minutes and jump off. Some of our sets have been up to an hour and a half that we've been playing, so that's something kind of different with the 2 bands. That's been going real well for us, and we've been working with a new guitar player, Mark Furry.
Yeah.
We've been through a line of guitar players. We've had this is probably our 6th, 7th guitar player.
Circumstances.
Yeah,
it wasn't us.
It's been all the original members of Grudge Meyer except for the guitar player. So, so he's been coming along real well. So we're really looking forward to that, and definitely some new music coming up, which I think we'll be hitting back at KMS Studios, Tommy Gibson's studio.
Right.
So that's we probably got, I probably myself got 5, 6 songs, and I think Mark himself has another 5, 6. So it's going to be interesting, picking up what songs we're actually going to do. We're going to try and take the best ones. From the time with COVID and all that that we had, we have a lot of songs that are in the library. We just haven't been able to get to the studio and actually get something recorded. So that's going to be also one of our next goals. So hopefully everyone can check us out. We're on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, Reverb Nation. You can look at us anywhere on there. We're on all the websites, so that kind of helps out with that. What do you want to add to it too, Joey?
We got well, tell me, that was Deirdre with the lady in the song?
Yeah.
We had to throw a little of that sexiness in there.
Yeah, she did that for us. Yeah.
No. Pop that and see if it comes back on. There we go.
Yeah. Your mic going out?
Yeah. I think I might have to replace a mic.
If it's electronic, it will go out if I touch it. So
Yeah.
I told you not to touch it.
Yeah, that's just a drummer right there for you. We don't let him touch any of the electronics. He gets two wooden sticks, and that's about it.
So how long's Mark been with the band?
What do we have now? About 6 months?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
fresh.
Yeah, he's real fresh. Actually, for him, he had a lot of work to do because he had to come in and learn all the originals that we had on our set list. And at the time, that's all we had was originals. And picking up some of these other shows, we wanted to do some cover tunes as well. So he had to learn all that stuff, learn the leads, and learn the cover tunes at a very, very short period of time. I think we had, about 4 weeks and picked up, about 5 songs.
It's pretty much weather through the storm, and let's see who all survives.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's done very good. He's done very well. I'm very happy with him.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's
And Mike and Justin are originals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Justin is
my son.
Okay.
So we have 2 generations on stage, which is very unique.
Very.
So all those guitar lessons I paid for, it's coming through.
it's paying off now.
I'm very,
Awesome.
Very, very happy as a father to be on stage and look down and see your son. And it's been a really good growth. And I do promote a lot of my students, young youth, because if we don't promote that, we don't have our future. And
Absolutely.
we've got to keep the 80s and 90s and 2000 rock going.
Yeah.
And that's been a lot of my drive to give back. And that's why one reason I wanted to become a teacher is that I'm seeing a lot of area I can definitely fill. And it's been it's been great.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like when GRUDGE MEYER, when we first started, we actually started off as a 3-piece. So I was playing bass and singing, and it was Joey, and then we had one other guitar player, Todd Stubbs, he was the guy that I wrote with for probably 10 years prior. So GRUDGE MEYER actually started like 17 years ago, almost 20 years ago. But we never played out that much or anything. It was just us 2 writing and doing some acoustic shows and things like that. So a lot of these songs all come from a GRUDGE MEYER from many years ago. And that's actually how the band name came up. Was my father's a musician as well, and he went to school with Wallace and Lamo. And anybody from Arizona remembers the Wallace and Lamo show. And if you remember, there was Mr. GRUDGE MEYER. That was one of the characters that they had for Wallace and Lamo. So that's how we kind of came up with the name.
Okay.
My dad was.
Well, that was the next question.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So it was. It was one of those things where it sounded like a rock name, GRUDGE MEYER, and we were like, let's just go with that. So that's actually been a name for many years. but it didn't really come out until we actually got a band going and formed something. It was actually us two, Todd, Stubbs, and myself, that decided, okay, we're going to go ahead and make a band of this, and that's when Joey came along, luckily, and that just like fit the puzzle in perfect. And from there, we were doing real well as a three-piece, but it was like one of those things I kind of wanted to be on the mic more and be able to concentrate on writing and doing that and my singing. So then that's when we picked up Mike Wise. We found him. He was actually on Band Mix, and there was this picture of this fretless bass, 6-string bass, and I looked at that and I was like going, okay, anyone that can play that instrument right there can definitely play bass. If you're going to play a fretless 6-string bass and walk in with that as your audition, then that's a thumbs up, you know. So yeah, sure enough, he came in and he loved the music himself and he fit right in. That helped out a lot right there. The only battle that Grudge Meyer's really had with it has been guitar players. That's been our thing. But hopefully Mark, he sticks in and keeps filling that spot. So that's going to be...
Well, that's interesting because I've recently learned of somebody, your fellow band, Miss Mary.
Yeah.
They were having auditions for the band.
Yeah.
Yep.
The drummer came in to audition, doesn't own a drum set.
No.
And they're like, so how did you practice? He just sat in my room and air drum. And he got the job. And I'm like, you rehearsed on air drums for a band audition and won.
It's unheard of.
It's absurd. It's amazingly absurd. Not in a bad way. It's just, wow. That's
it's almost like playing the drums on your steering wheel. You mentally you go through it.
Right. You're going through the motions.
Yeah,
and then when you actually get to strike the pads,
there
then
you
know.
Yeah. No, he's a very good gentleman. I like him very well. He's a good guy.
Yeah, all those guys are great.
Really
That's why we're
love working with him.
Yeah, we're really happy about working with him. Me and Dave actually have been, when he was first forming his band, was actually when I was recovering from my back surgery. And he asked me to be a singer at the time, and I go, "Hey, I'm I'm laid up right now, you know." I'm like, that ain't gonna happen, you know. So during that time, me and him, since we both kind of came from the era of playing like the Mason Jar, and we've been in the Valley playing for years. Joey's same thing. You were with who?
Oh, Loosely Tight. Dog Will Hunt. You named it.
Yeah,
a lot of garage bands.
So Dave, when he was first building his band, I remember everything that he was going through, and at the time we kept talking about, you know, wait, why don't we, us two bands, get together and you know, kind of start doing it like we did back then with two bands playing instead of 6, 7 bands. Well, I love that. You know, we'd still go and do that too, but I remember with him building his band, when he told me he got the drummer, he actually had to buy a set for band rehearsal. You know, so Dave actually put money in, but he goes, the guy's so good, you know. it was worth it, you know. And I go, man,
oh, absolutely.
It was unheard of to find a drummer that doesn't even own a set, but can play darn well, you know.
That's crazy. It's just, it's one of those stories that, you know, will probably go down in history eventually.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's just amazing.
I'm sure it's something that he never thought that was going to happen, and you know, for him, you know, he's got his band came together pretty good there. You know, he's got a good singer, and then they got Tommy Gibbons, you know, who's an excellent guitar player. So
sitting there eating breakfast, telling him about this show that we're doing, and he wanted to do the audition. He came in and did Satan Smile on stage, and we didn't know this was his audition for Menace Mary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it was like
that was our first show at the Roadhouse, actually.
But incredibly, it's been really nice because we support each other. We're not in competition with each other. We only look to help us, make each other band stronger. Between that, it's unbelievable. It's
definitely
unheard of sometimes.
Well, I was at the Roadhouse for Bike Week.
Yeah,
so
okay.
that
Yep.
was,
he was there. I remember that too.
That's where I met, and then this started. So
cool.
Now we're here. So this is awesome.
Yeah, I know. This is.
It takes a little while, and don't mind me if I ever seem distant or squirreled. It's for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's never anything personal and nothing about you. So
I have to tell you, that show that you were at, Mick Brown of Dokken, the drummer, was there. And I saw him. Actually, a good friend of mine introduced me to him 30 years ago. And we had played Beatle trivia. It was so cool. Finally backstage with a real rock star.
Nice.
This was right as they were releasing... it was a movie, Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street.
When they did the soundtrack.
They just come back from LA.
It's up there.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Anyway, it was just really nice. And then to actually see him at one of my shows 30 years later.
Right.
That was just so, it was really good to see him again. And
that had to be amazing.
It was,
so who was the young lady playing guitar? For you guys? She gave me a pic and we took a picture.
So, I started, Brent introduced me and said, hey, can you work with this young lady? So I brought her in. I have a couple of drum students that we did the merry-go-round, and she was pretty good. So I'm like, let's bring her on stage. I wanted to promote the youth, and she's flying. I was so happy to open that door for her. 16 and a half. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
This young lady's going places.
That's awesome.
So I told her all I want was 3%. And my name on the drum head.
Yeah.
Well, I got one of her guitar picks, and then I got a picture with her. So
awesome.
Or of her.
Yeah, and she's playing. Who's she playing with now? Isn't it Poison?
Poison. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing we'll be working with. So.
She's actually in a band now. I'm going to be playing, but yeah, it was great having her on stage, and then she got to play right there on Bike Week, with that front of that kind
with
of
that crowd.
Yeah,
if you can survive that crowd, you're golden.
I thought, man, if she can pull through this, and she's good. She held her ground.
Yeah,
yes, she did very, very well. It was very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, she did we did Green Manalushi. And she came and played that and did half the solos along with Mark. So that was, I mean, it was great having her on there. I was glad that Joey did that because, we've always been about that, helping the youth and stuff like that. I mean, we played at your school, right?
Oh, yeah.
A couple of years ago.
We brought the whole band and set up on the curb and started playing. I think there was about 100 and some people that showed up, parents, students, and everybody.
Yeah, we were right in front of a CVC. I was like going, hey, you can walk right there and you get your drugs, or you can listen to GRUDGE MEYER, whatever you want.
That's awesome.
That was that was a fun night there, actually. There's not too many. Some of the looks we got from the people that were walking in and out of the CVS right there were kind of they didn't know what to expect. You don't see a rock band out there at 8 o'clock at night.
Got your rock band going on one side, and then you got your weightlifters on the other. It's kind of
you're like, oh, okay.
A little bit of looks, but hey, everybody got along. Thank God
we made it through. We were happy.
No chicken wire.
So what's been one of your biggest highlights in the life of GRUDGE MEYER?
Being alive. No.
Just staying alive.
I don't know. I mean, what do you think? I think the Roadhouse, that last show, was pretty...
just surviving through COVID, the guitar players, 2 surgeries, blah, 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 and then being able to get on stage finally was so great. It fed the soul.
Yeah. I think one of the nicest experience, too, that we had was
Thank you.
Also at Fullwell Recording Studios.
Okay.
That's where we recorded "Tell Me," the first song you just heard, and a few other songs from there: "Runaway," "Uncover Me," "Dreamer Girl." We actually went there twice, and that studio I can hands down.
Great place.
Great place to be. If you're getting
Mike,
into the studio,
he's a
you're
sweetheart.
yeah. That place is the real deal right there. I mean, Alice Cooper did his album there. Mike did his album with him. Recorded it there, and it's like I said, those guys are professional, and it's hands-on, one of the best studios in Arizona that I've ever been to. You know, by far, Fullwell Recording Studios. They
They'll go the extra mile.
they put us through the work right there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
But
Mike's all about.
My name's on it. It's
Yeah,
coming
Mike-
out good.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's what I like.
That's what life should be about.
yeah.
Your name's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what Mike Bolenbach from Fullwell Recording Studios. He makes you work for your album. He really does, because he wants to bring the best out of you. And you don't get that at a lot of studios. A lot of them just want to record your voice, and you jump off the mic and you're done. You know, and that's it. And it's like, you know.
Cut and paste.
Yeah, cut and paste, and
Cut and
that's
paste,
it.
cut and
And we're
paste.
done. Okay, we'll see you later.
Yeah, well, makeup makes people look very good too.
Yeah.
Right?
Until it comes
I
off.
think that was one of the highlights of us going,
Yeah.
us going to that studio, and it was the first studio for Grudge Meyer, and just being in a studio where all the, you know, where Alice Cooper was at, you name it, the list goes on. Slash, he was there, I believe, and there's, you know, it's just a great experience. That was probably one of the biggest highlights, I'd say. Learning experience.
Well, we're going to break for the intermission song. Here's Grudge Meyer with Satan's Smile right here on the Yeti Radio. Live back in the studio with GRUDGE MEYER.
Hello.
Yeah. Let me see. Doing a quick mic adjustment. See if this works. I don't know that this will work.
Testing.
Oh yes. Very nice.
Oh.
He's up. He's alive.
He's definitely alive now.
Take it for a drummer. They'll break anything.
Well, I don't know how old that mic is, so
It's been through a lot, huh?
apparently.
I'll be nice to it.
So, who are some of your guys' musical influences?
Ooh, wow. Led Zeppelin,
Bad Company.
Cheap Trick, Aerosmith.
Yep.
Who else you got?
Dawkins.
Dawkins, definitely. Scorpions. I got a whole bunch of influences. I think I really like the Led Zeppelin era. I think listening to them, I think I learned a lot from them, just because they have so much dynamics in what they do.
I saw a B-52 in your collection.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah.
The cars.
B-52s. Yeah.
Oh, I listened to
They're
it.
in mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had them, and God, who else that I listened to? I listened to all kinds of things. I had my dad, since I played bass as well, and him being a jazz player, I learned, that's what he just put on a tape for me, and there you go, play this. And yeah, he just, okay, so I'll be following this bass line, doom, 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 But it taught me a lot, actually. It taught me how to get around the whole bass to play, which actually helped for my writing too, because it, gave me some kind of dynamics that way. But I mean, you probably were the same with your dad, right?
Oh yeah, my dad used to play drums for Buck Owens for a little bit before Hee Haw kicked on.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So he was country, I went rock.
He's the one that taught you, right?
Yeah, kinda. I did a lot of the self-teaching, a lot, because he didn't want to hear Kiss. He wanted to hear Buck Owens and Merle Haggard.
Guy I went to high school with was a drummer, and he could sit there and I went over to visit, and he sat there and played the Kiss album.
Oh, nice.
All the way through.
Yeah.
Just on drums. And was just killer. Unfortunately, I don't think he went anywhere with it, which the small town that we were in, if you didn't leave that town, I don't think,
You weren't going to come up with anything, huh?
Well, and I don't mean it in a bad way. If that's where that's where my folks chose to live.
Yeah.
Of course, there were things back then. All that stuff closed down. All the stuff that put the town on the map was gone.
Yeah.
So why do people actually still stay there? I don't know.
Yeah.
It fascinates me, but
That's true.
you got any pre-show rituals? Anything off the wall?
Not really.
No, not
You go to
yet.
the corner and stand on your
You
head,
think we
or-
would have something. With all the guitar players we've been through. No, not really, though. We really don't have any rituals, anything that we do.
Just don't think too hard and just do the show.
Yeah, just get through it.
Otherwise, the anxiety and all the other is going to kick in, so just do it.
Yeah, that's right. We don't really have any. We're pretty much a calm rock band, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
We
Earlier days.
Earlier days now.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
See.
If you want to talk
I'm
about
not talking about today. I'm
Yeah,
talking over your musical career. Anything?
Yeah, well,
It's like the next question, which is, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened on stage? And that can go back 30, 40 years. That's up to you guys.
my wife might be listening to this.
You might not be able to go back home.
Hit it, Alan.
No, go ahead.
I ain't self-convicted.
Tell
We
us
ain't
about-
touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Tell us about Loosely Tight.
Yeah, I can tell you about a lot. I remember I can't say that. Yeah, we better just stay put.
You just stay put.
But we survived the '80s and really good times. I'm gonna say that.
That's
Tom Jones. Women were throwing undergarments on stage at him.
Yeah.
Somebody ever? I know somebody had makeup on and they were profusely sweating because it was hot, and the lady came up and grabbed him, and licked right up the side of his face and makeup sweat. I'm like, oh.
She got caught up in the moment.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah.
We had a few cigarette burn holes in the limousines and a few other things. So it was, not a good time to own a limousine company in the 80s.
Yeah, limousines in the 80s, that was just, they might have made it 3 months and they just needed to be replaced.
Yeah. I was going to say, they probably shied when they seen the rock bands kind of come in, and they have all the girls and everything like that. They're like, oh, no, not one of these trips.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But we never threw furniture out of the hotel room, so we're good.
No, we didn't do anything like that. I think our guitar player one time did a little paint job in the back of a 7-Eleven one time. Thought he would paint our name on there, Grudge Meyer, or not Grudge Meyer at the time. Actually, we were Legion at the time, our band was. And, he got some little bit of jail time for that. And he had to go clean up for it.
Oh,
that was Todd.
Yep.
Who was our original guitar player from the very beginning. He got in a little bit of trouble like that. He did. That was the kind of thing that he did. I had nothing to do with it though. No graffiti for me.
So where do you get your inspiration for your lyrics?
Oh, wow. My lyrics. It's kind of funny. Sometimes it's just things that happen, or maybe has happened to someone else. Things like that. I think a lot of time that's where some of my lyrics come from. Some of it is just really, I think a lot of it is just writing about what is either I experience or someone else's experience. I think a lot of times I like writing about that. I have a song that we haven't done yet. It's called Yesterday, and that was basically when I was going through my surgery and I didn't have my voice because I had throat surgery done. That was actually talking about my yesterday, about what it was like before the surgery that I had, and that song, we haven't recorded that one yet, but we've been kind of talking about doing that one. So a lot of times it's about might be about experiences that I've gone through, or just experiences that other people have gone through. I'm going to say that for the most part, that's where I usually get things from, actual things that have happened. I think that's I think some writers they've kind of gotten things from newspaper clippings or something like that they read about, or stories. I think Skid Row did that with 18 in Life. I think actually that song came from something that he was reading on the newspaper. So I get them about the same ways, things like that.
Find a good story and then or at least like a heading for a story, and then write it from there.
And sometimes write it from there, or an experience that someone else has told me that they've gone through, or sometimes it's just a make-believe story,
Right.
Something that I would want to create, or I would want to happen, or something like that. I think that's where a lot of times my vocals come from. I don't do any vocals that are political. I don't really have anything like that. I don't target that area. If anything I target, it would be love or something like that, or an experience that you had with a girlfriend, or
So where did Satan's Smile come in?
Satan's Smile, where did that come? Well, that one right there is an experience about meeting a girl and basically putting her head on your shoulders, and kind of winks and smiles. It's like, what else were you supposed
Lures
to
you
do?
in, and
Yeah,
and now you don't have a wallet.
Now I don't have a wallet, and come out to be, she's Satan smile now. Yeah, that's a lot of times it's about that. I think that's where I get it from. Usually I'll get like the music part down, and a lot of times I'll record it, and I'll actually mumble words through there, and actually start being able to kind of build a song from there too. I've actually done it that way.
I can do a lot of backup mumbling.
You could do a lot of mumbling. You'll be my mumbler from now on. Make up lyrics, but that's usually what I get it.
Well, when it's an original, who's to tell you what the lyrics are and aren't? It's your song.
These days, yeah. Make it up as you go.
Yeah.
I talked to a couple of people. They're like, "Yeah, I forgot the lyrics to an entire song and just put a wing on it and got through the song." And people were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Oh well, shit happens."
I've had that happen live before. Just brain fart, and all of a sudden had to make up lyrics on the way. And I think I got that from my dad. My dad would do that. People would be playing and stuff, and he showed me how you could just make up lyrics.
Wallace and Labmo?
And no, actually, he was performing, and he was just making up lyrics as he was going, and I knew what was going on because he was looking at me, and he was saying a lot of funny stuff, and the people are still getting along with it, and like nothing, they don't even realize what the lyrics are, They just kind of go along with the music at the time.
What's your favorite song to perform?
I'm gonna say right now, I think "Runaway" is one of my favorites. Between that one and I would say, I think "Uncover Me" too, because I get a lot of comments from girls that for some reason they love that song "Uncover Me." I don't know what it is, but it's just one of those songs. I'll look out in the audience and they're actually singing it, and some of them know the lyrics better than me. I mean, I can see it. They're singing it, and I'm thinking, wow, they ain't got nothing in front of them, and they don't rehearse with us, so it's like, I think, those two songs are probably my favorite. I don't know. What do you think about for you?
Tell Me, Satan Smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Tell Me because I had to come up with a hard, nice intro, drum beat, march.
Yeah.
We're taking everybody, no prisoners. And then Satan Smiled because we survived all the stuff thrown at us. And then my son actually came up with some of that guitar. So that's my favorites.
Yeah, he came up. He did all the music himself, and I put the lyrics to it, and that song came out really well.
And see, we actually brought my son in so we would have some youth into our band. In other words, oh, you guys sound like the 80s bands. Well, yeah, we're not ever going to leave. That's where we learned. That's where we came from. But we wanted some youth, and so that's why we brought my son in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That, and also to fill the spot too, rhythm guitar player, and he's actually got one of the toughest positions in the band, besides you, because he starts a lot of our songs. Uncover Me, he starts that one. Till Your Heart Breaks, he usually would start that one. So he's got a tough job, for being a rhythm guitar player, and to come in like he did, and to fill that spot was like really nice. Justin did like a really good job. That was, at first I was thinking, God, a young kid, is he going to be able to do this? And he's been stepping up the whole time. So it's been amazing.
I've been impressed with the younger generation in the industry when it comes to the rock bands and metal bands, and they're putting in the work. So,
and a lot of my students will come in and they're wanting to play the 80s, some of the even 60s.
Right.
And it makes me feel I'm very happy to see that.
Yeah, and people say, they'll always like, well, why are you still hanging on to like that 80, 90 stuff, and you look at like your students, the younger kids, they want to play those songs. They want to hear them. Bree, when she came in, what songs did she know? She knew, she knew the 90s and the 80s and 90s, Ozzy Osbourne.
Skid Row, Rat.
Yeah,
Poison.
I mean, it was, you think about it. So it's not just us hanging on to the 80s or the 90s. I mean, the youth is hanging on to it just as well.
Right.
So,
Well, it's like when a band changes because music is changing.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, the hell did you do that for? You were just fine.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Very hard industry. A lot.
But I understand that. But now what you're saying is, now we're still playing the 80s.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't have changed. Let the new bands be the new music. You keep doing you, and
it's kind of like we found our niche, and we're going to try to stay true to that as much as possible.
Yeah, and that's, if you find any original band that a lot of them will label themselves before they even make a record, and so now you're really trying to play to that image, and that's really not you. Us, what we play out or what we talk about is it's right on our albums, because that's what we make. Those are the songs we make, like Tell Me, that's your typical 90s song type of song. Even Satan Smiles got some of that in there as well, so it's it's kind of hard to change that. You can't sit there and say, well, you need to change. That's like changing your image and your whole, your hair color and your everything about you. You can't do it. If you come across playing sounding like the 80s band, you're going to be an 80s band. That's what Grudge Meyer pretty much is. We're not trying to make anyone do that. We're not trying to sound like, well, these bands are playing this now. Well, that's fine, but you also hear them play some of the 80, 90 songs too. They'll, a lot of bands survive off of a lot of the cover songs, and they go back to the 90s and stuff, and they'll play those songs. So I think that's something that's never gonna die. I really do. I think that's going to be with us forever.
Right.
Time we're gone. If the youth is if we're seeing that with the youth, like you said, your students, they're coming up to you and wanting to play those songs.
Oh, I
see as they get older, it's going to stay with them. Most likely. So it's something they love. So I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's a good thing.
And some of it's probably because their parents play it all the time, and that's all they hear.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I think they like it too, though. They got a choice.
Yeah, but I let my students. You bring your song. Let's learn it. We're going to learn it. I don't care if it's country, gospel, rock, heavy metal. We're going to learn it.
Absolutely. What's your favorite venue to play locally?
Wow, what do you think? What do you like? I like the scenery at the Roadhouse. I really do. They can bring in a pretty good crowd. I think out of all the bars that we probably played, I think the 44 is looking pretty good. Mm-hmm. They have a very nice system. That's one thing that I found out playing at different bars and stuff like that is their sound system's not that good, and you can. I'm not going to name those bars or anything like that, but that's one thing that Grudge Meyer Miss Mary's doing is we've had our own sound guy at every show that we've done. So, it takes from our pocket. I think the sound guy makes more money than we do.
We do.
And we really do. I mean, but the thing is, our whole thing was no matter who's playing, they're going to sound just as good as the headliner. And that's what, that's kind of what Dave Stone was talking about with Miss Mary. Was that, it's like if your band don't sound that good, we're not going to look that good either. So you need to sound as good as us. So, every show that we've been doing right now, we've been hiring and bringing in a sound guy. But I say the venue, though, the 44, they got a very nice system there. Joker runs the sound there,
Nice. Yep. Nice.
And I think this show he'll be actually running that. This will be the first show we're not bringing a sound guy in for Blacktop Mojo.
But you know, we kind of look at it as this ain't about making money, becoming the next big band. This is about having fun,
Right.
and just helping each other and just enjoying and having fun.
Just doing what you enjoy.
Because it gets too,
I get it.
it just gets too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if we start trying to play for money and doing that, then we're going to be talking
let
about
down.
a whole new avenue there. You're going to be playing 4 sets, and you're going to be the only band playing if you're going that route.
$3,000 drum set.
I watched my dad do that for years.
$1,000 car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. So if you could play anywhere in the world, I win the lottery. I win the big lottery, the dumb lottery, and I'm going to pick 4 or 5 bands, and we're going to go somewhere. Where are we going?
I'd like to go out of country.
Yeah. I'd go Germany, London.
Yeah.
Definitely hit L.A. Try New York once.
Yeah, I think New York, and I think definitely going overseas or something like that.
There's a place in Sedona, right? It has a really nice acoustic stage setup. That would be awesome. And I'm not sure the name of it.
Oh, I don't know there. But I think if
Sedona
I really
or
had
the
it,
one in Colorado, Red Rock?
It might be Colorado.
Red Rock?
Okay, yeah. It's all beautiful. Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, I would love that myself too.
It's a very popular one, and I don't blame anybody. I've yet to make it there, so hopefully soon.
It'd be awesome to go it'd be awesome to go to Russia.
Yeah,
sure.
Just don't take any weed with you.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So maybe we can't go there then. Huh?
Right.
Never mind. We can't go there. We'll go to Japan. We'll go somewhere like that. I think I'd like to do that. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, Japan would be good.
Yeah. Japan, Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Actually.
Buddy of mine was watching over on Kick. Is in Christchurch, New Zealand.
Oh, nice.
He comes and checks out some of the interviews and some of the shows. And hangs out with me. He's really cool.
Well, be hi to him. Yeah.
Well, New Zealand and Australia are on my bucket list because of people that I know over there that I've met doing this.
Yeah.
And God, one day.
That would be nice. That definitely would be nice.
Even if I got to jump on as a roadie, come on, somebody take me to Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah. I'm all for that myself. I would love to do that.
Let's see. If you could collaborate with anybody.
Uh-oh.
Past, present.
Wow, who would that be?
You're number one.
Too many.
I know it's hard.
Yeah.
You got to pick one.
I'd have to go to the roots, man. Go back to your roots.
Yeah. I would say like Robert Plant for me.
I was gonna say Zeppelin.
If I could do that with Zeppelin and go through that whole scenario a little bit, that would be.
But hell, I'd be happy just to play with Oingo Boingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're just as good too.
Oingo Boingo. No, I think something like that would be nice. And I think just learning from someone like that would probably be
just
the
get
best
on stage
thing.
and play with one of them would be awesome.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and the stories that they have too, and just
the questions you have to ask. And
yeah, exactly. Probably what they've been through. I think.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened on stage?
I forgot drumsticks and the bass pedal.
Yeah, he forgot his drum.
I was like, all right, I'm retiring.
Yeah, I think that was probably that was worst right there, especially when you said it.
Well, it was 10 bands, hurry up, 15 minutes to set up, 15 minutes to play, 15 minutes to get off one of those.
Yeah.
And that's when you're going to start gashing up your equipment, forgetting this. And then,
Yeah, when you said that you had to go borrow that, yeah, that's like asking to go borrow someone's underwear or something, you know? Yeah, well, that was like...
Forget it. I'm going solo.
I would say that was probably the worst thing right there.
I'm just going to play in my underwear.
Yeah, can't touch this. You don't want to.
That was probably one of the worst times.
That would probably be my stipulation.
Yeah,
to borrow mine.
Trust me.
You got to play in your underwear.
Oh,
no, they don't want to see me. No, but trust me, I definitely remember the drumsticks now.
Yeah,
and that's what gets me is the that many bands. For a festival and you're set up to do things and
it's planned
and you've got risers on wheels and the drums are already
push
set.
And shove and go.
Push it out and unplug it, push it out.
Yep. Plug
it in, go. You got 2 sets of drum mics and you're just doing this.
Oh, it's a circus the other way.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah, and I see it all the time. But most people don't have that capability or that setup. Right. I worked in a theater that we tried, and it was insane. And we had a back area so that we could set things up and do so, because we also did production shows.
Okay, yeah.
So we had room and. It's just I see 6 bands playing that yucca.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's barely any stage room, much less room for anything else. You can't get anybody in the door because all the band equipment's sitting there or outside the door. Or, the blues is small as well.
Oh yeah.
And,
yeah.
It's just
it's kind of funny when someone started doing that. I remember because it used to be like you would have 2-3 bands tops is what you had. You had your opener and then your mid band and then you had your headliner normally is what it would be. And now things really have changed where now they want, every promoter has this thing where they just, the more bands the better. And I had to say, a couple situations that we played at also, besides your, forgetting your drumsticks and this and that, we were actually playing, and I think the band that was before us was a country band, and a band before them was a punk rock band. And it was kind of like, what are you doing to us? You know what I mean? I mean, it was.
Where's the crowd you're targeting?
To put a band in that situation is just, you're setting yourself up for failure. But they just wanted a mix of us, like a radio station or something, and create that live. And I think that was one of our other. I don't even remember where that was. That was way on the south side. In a warehouse, wasn't it? Yeah. It was put in a warehouse, and that's where they had all the bands set up. And like I said, it was just whoever wanted to play there was going to play there. So you heard everything, and that was kind of a hard thing to how you're supposed to do, go along with a country band. Which I have nothing against country bands or anything or punk rock. I love punk rock. But to mix them all together, it's kind of... Well, it was a little bit different, anyways.
And as closed-minded as the majority of the genres fans are.
Yeah.
And it's not a jab or anything. It's a fact. It's what it is.
No,
that's what you listen to, and that's it. And
true.
You're not going to change. And
right.
There are more people that are that way than are like you and I were. This is a multi-genre show. When I do my shows, I play reggae, I play country, I play pop, I play R&B, I play metal, I play rock, So, it's just crazy for that many bands, and you're not actually set up to function it that way.
I mean, the one side is, well, maybe they will like your band. So you might get a fan out of it.
No, absolutely. But, I understand.
But push and shove, it's hard on the bands.
It's really hard on the bands for what they're doing. I think it's it looks great on the flyer and everything. You got all these bands on there, and it looks great. But it's like, it is a lot of work for the
Promoters,
bands to set up. You usually got about 20 minutes, and then you're jump and go. I think one time we were late, so it basically ate into our set. I think we only did like 5 songs or something like that. 6 songs, yeah. And then we had to get off because we were kind of burning into our own time there.
Right.
But how can you be accountable for the sound guys still trying to set this mic up or something like that, so it wasn't just the band itself that was holding us up. It was actually the venue that was holding us up, but we paid the price for it, so yeah, those shows sometimes they're not that fun, although it is nice. You see like Amfest is coming up, you see all the bands having them all together. It is nice to be able to walk around and talk to each group and stuff like that. That's kind of nice. It's the only time the bands get together like that in a group. That is. And and that is nice that way. But as far as playing it sometimes, wow, that's a different story there.
It's when you're set up for a festival, that's one thing. But an everyday thing is just 6-8 hours worth of music and a lot of dead time in between bands, unless you're figuring out a way to try and supply the back line. Like at the Whiskey, it's the Whiskey's drum kit. That's what you're playing on.
Yeah.
And got their logo on the drum head, the bass head, and it is what it is. If and all you do is come sit down and you might bring your snare and your seat, because that's set for you, but and your music, but everything else, plug and play, walk up, plug it in, start playing.
It's kind of like,
we're good.
Win this race with this car. I know you've never drove it, but here, just go win the race.
I was gonna say that could be challenging. For the drummer. Just stepping on a kid, I imagine that's everyone's different heights. Yeah, for one,
everybody's long.
Well, it's adjustable, and you should have. Yeah. If it's a backline set, you should have enough. Maybe not a Simon Phillips or Neil Peart set, but a big enough set that you've got. If somebody's got a different size floor tom that they use, and it's not out there, you can swap it out, bring it up. Yeah. You can use the ones that you use, and adjust everything to height. That takes 5-10 minutes as opposed to 20 minutes for everything else. So and you can not get it knocked out and keep the music rolling, because that's the biggest thing is the human attention span. It sucks.
Oh yeah.
You're lucky if it's 45 minutes long.
But I still should be able to make that drum set sound good, even if it's an expensive one or if it's my 12.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and in all actuality, when you're in the studio, that's one thing. When we hear a CD or a vinyl or an MP3, we expect perfection as listeners, because that's in a controlled, perfect environment, or as perfect as it can be. Yeah. Let's say, because nothing's perfect.
Don't breathe.
But when you're playing live, when you make mistakes, nobody notices.
Yeah.
Because it's live.
See, I told you I can mumble.
Yeah.
I knew it.
And
we fumble through it.
From experience. Yeah. Things that I've done that we were performing, not musicians, but we were performing a task, and we're making mistakes left and right, and we're getting a standing ovation at the end. I'm like, you thought that was good?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've had plenty of those shows where we've had our mistakes, and luckily we just kind of been getting through them so far.
But we learn from those mistakes, and we still give 300%.
Absolutely, and it's a show.
Yeah.
When it's live, it's a show. It's
regardless.
We all know shit's gonna happen. You forgot your drumsticks. Oh, okay. Well, he got drumsticks from somebody else.
They're baseball bats, but let me use them.
Well, it's funny. It's comical. Hey, I was at the show when you forgot your sticks. That's a future story that's cool.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about the playing in the underwear part, but hey.
Yeah. I ain't gonna sell many tickets that way. So
No, it ain't gonna happen. No, not for us.
How long have you been playing music altogether? Period. When did you start? What year, roughly?
Wow. I actually started. I was in my first band, a rock band, actually, when I was 14 years old.
Okay.
So that was quite a while ago. That was, what, 40 years ago?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I started when I was actually 14 years old. The band would pick me up. They were all in their 18, 19, and 20s. And I was a youngster in the band.
Huh.
And they would look after me, and then they would make sure I got home every night. Took me home and took my amp home. And then I got into another band right after that, and they did the same thing. And I think I was 15 years old at that time. So, yeah, my first band, I was 13 when I first started. And then I got my first real band where we actually played a desert party. I was 14 years old. So it's been a while.
Desert
Okay.
parties. Ooh, I remember
Desert
those.
party, yep.
Yeah,
I
that
played
was fun.
I played a desert party, and they had, the big construction lights on you.
Yep.
And
And don't forget the dust storms.
yeah, the dust storms.
Oh, Lord.
And it was crazy too, because here I'm looking, at 14 years old playing, and all the crowds are just right there. There is no stage. It was just everyone's right there, and you could just kind of see people a little bit. Then the bright lights would be on you so much there's parts of it you couldn't see. So it was, those were fun times though. Those are probably one of the funnest times. I think the funnest time I've ever had was at a house party. That's one of the best audience that you can have. They're having a good time, and everyone's really into the music. That's probably one of the funnest.
Man, you've been around, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
House parties have been. Well, I'm not the only one. What about you?
I was right
I
behind
still
you.
say we need to bring keggers back.
Yeah.
I'm
Those
all
were great.
for that. I think someone needs to do
Kegers.
another
that's
outside
funny.
party or a house party. Yeah. Call
So-
GRUDGE MEYER. We'll do a house party for you.
3 of my friends tried to block off 7th Street in Deer Valley and throw Loosely Tight, and they bought 30 kegs. 30 kegs were drained in 15 minutes. But it was one of the best shows ever. There was 5,000 people out in a desert. You kidding me? That was incredible.
And this was when?
This was, oh my gosh, back in 81. Yeah. But
Wow.
that's Schoolboys, which became Icon. So that's
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
That's where we came out.
Wow.
And I was the last drummer for Loosely Tight. So I used to sneak into bars to see these guys. And then to be their last drummer was a very, very big accomplishment for me.
Yeah.
And learned a lot from Dino Livingston.
Well, so you know the industry quite well. That's where we were going with that.
Yeah.
You've been around since
Enough to make
early
you
mid
scared.
80s and have seen the differences between how
Oh.
music was done then and put out, and then how it's done now and put out. Which do you prefer, and how do you feel about the changes?
For me, I prefer the old school, because now everything is so electronic and computerized that bands can make themselves sound just
Like they're
what they're not, basically, because you got it all right there on the computer. And I kind of like it back the old way, where you actually had to work to put out your music, and you could add whatever you wanted to. You looked around the room to find something to make this type of noise or whatever,
minimum equipment.
and add that to the song, and no one would ever guess what the heck that was. That was just a beer bottle on a stick, So I think I like those things because they're more creative, I think.
raw. It's
Yeah.
more raw, hard work. It's and if you sound like, and it's what you put out. So
Yeah, and I think I'd like that much better than.
Well,
Then
those
the
ones
trickery.
with the computers, they weed themselves out kind of in the end, because when you can go put it on the computer, but then when you go live on stage,
you better be able to put it out
and
too.
you don't. That's when you get weeded out.
Yes.
But when somebody puts it together on a computer, and then knocks your socks off on stage.
Bingo.
There's somebody that's
Then you know you got a
been,
band.
been working pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like the old bands, like Thin Lizzy. Look how, man, that was raw, and it just was always sounding good.
Yeah.
All of it back then was as raw as
Ted
it gets.
Nugent.
It's just,
oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's probably my, most memorable, and then just I think that's where people really were creative in that aspect.
you're on a farm somewhere in the middle of nowhere,
Kansas,
putting your music together.
Yeah.
What farm was it? Queen was on somewhere over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
or over
right.
here.
Yep.
They were out and just away from any and everything.
Oh yeah, I think Supertramps, they did that in the basement with an old keyboard organ from a church.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Those are probably the most memorable things right there. I think that's a lot.
Actual garage bands.
Yeah.
Or basement bands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those exactly.
Yeah.
That was probably the best.
Is it Boston? It's all garage done by what? 2 people?
Yeah. And it's some of that stuff. So that's kind of makes
Insane.
you work harder to get as much to get as accomplished as where they got. So
Yeah, exactly. I think so.
Well, everybody, this is GRUDGE MEYER,
Hello.
and they're here in the Yeti studio, and they're going to be playing the 28th over at the 44 Sports Grill and Nightlife with Menace Mary and Blacktop Mojo. And we got some other dates out. Check out their social media. I think they're on about every social media platform there is.
All the platforms.
Oh, yeah.
Remember,
Definitely.
the 28th, that's going to be an early show. Get there early because the last time they were here, it filled up very early.
Yeah.
So,
Very, very fast.
so we're
And
going to start the music earlier just so to keep you entertained.
And even if your name's on the list, get there early.
Yep. But
Like
we'll
me.
go all the way to the front, go to your left, and that's where the band will be. We'd love to have you come up and meet you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely. We'll throw you something. How's that? You come up and mention this show, and we'll throw something at you.
All right. Mention you saw it on the Yeti radio.
Yep.
And they'll throw something at you. That's kind of cool.
It's called giving back.
Absolutely. So here's GRUDGE MEYER closing out the show with Take Me Away right here on the Yeti radio.
Feeling I just can't hide. Burdenization that leaves me blind. Devil lives inside my veins. How to kill that beast for going insane. Take me away from the pain. Won't you save me today? This life is killing me. Won't you raise me away from the rage? Send me to space, I won't miss anything. No one knows what it's like
The Yeti Radio, powered by DavidLeeImaging.com.
It's alive!
The Yeti.
That's what she said.
Oh, yeah. The Yeti. The Yeti. The Yeti. The Phoenix music scene, powered by TheYetiRadio.com.
Can you dig it?
The Yeti.
Can you dig it?
Yeti.
Can you